Hello, everybody. How are you? What you up to today? Here in the lovely Pacific Northwest, it is not sunny. It is not. It is. Let me move over a little bit. Yeah. Hide some of that mess behind me. I would say that today is a gray day. Pacific Northwest gray. I'm sure that's a color. Yesterday was rainy and gray. So far this morning, there's no rain up here in Bellingham. I hear Seattle really got hit hard, but we haven't had rain yet. My guess is, and what I've heard is it's coming. We will have rain soon. But then again, I live in the Pacific Northwest. What else could I expect? Anyway, that's my area. How are you doing? I am so glad you're here. I was just going to show you a picture before we get to the fun stuff. Well, this is the fun stuff because Harley to me is the fun stuff. That is my hallway. In the back of the house, I have a ranch-style house. It was remodeled, so I guess now you would say it's more of an L. But down the hallway, we've got this nice long hallway with bedrooms off of it. And there's Harley, and you can only see 4. Oh, I'm glad, Gladys. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Tell your sister hello for me, even though she doesn't know me. So there's toys, big toys, small toys. Hi, Jan. Oh, you're pouring there. Oh my goodness. I did see that the cloud range and the forecast had everything being south, and just that we're getting the tip of it up here. I'm glad you're getting rain. It's important. Yes, Harley has many friends. They don't have names, but they live long lives usually. He's pretty easy on his toys now that he's older. He didn't used to be, but he is now. Anyway, that is not all of them. There were a couple more. And then I didn't pick them up right away because I like going through an obstacle course. You know, it's always such fun. And there's no danger in that when you're older to go through the obstacle course. I like to think of it as building balance. Oh, well, you know, I'm a little bit strange, but that's okay. In middle school, I decided that life is a whole lot more fun if you're a little bit strange. And I usually have a lot of fun, sometimes too much, which means I've crossed that little bit strange line. But anyway, Harley is cute, and I kind of like seeing his toys all over the house. Because believe me, they're not just in the hallway. They're in my bedroom. They're in the living room. They're in the craft room. Wherever Harley is, he brings a toy, and then he drops it. And I think I am the one who cleans it up. Well, that's my job. So, we have cards to give away, card kits. It's funny, I moved my little lights around so that they're not... Yes, it is an agility course. I didn't want them shining in my eyes because my migraines are usually triggered by lights, bright lights. So I've got them to the side now, so we'll see how well that works. How many times I knock them over. And I was looking at them and I'm going, these kits, I see shadows. There shouldn't be any shadows. They're not shadows. They're the pieces that are inside the envelopes. Now, that was pretty good. So here who's getting the kit, Luann Mosler, Sherry Turner, and Sherry, if you're watching, please message me your address because I don't have it. Hillary, congratulations, and Cindy Walker is getting one also. And I'm just going to set these aside to put addresses on later. Ooh, I like having that table over there. Let's see. Where was I? What was I thinking? I don't know. I do not know what I was thinking. Oh, I was going to tell you that... Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Let's do this. Deselect that one. Try it again. There. I think I'm doing it. I know, isn't Happy Mail fun? Oh, hi, Luann. Good to see you. I like to think of it, and I sent out a little meme this morning. You're welcome for the card. That said something like, I'm not crazy. I'm mentally hilarious. So let's go with that. We are not crazy. We are mentally hilarious. Let's see, I think I've got that done. Now let's see if, yes, it worked. Yay. Technology and I have not gotten along today. I love technology. I have fun learning new things. So I went this morning, I was out this morning until about noon. And so I went out and I thought, I didn't get to my iPad to get on Canva to update my little announcement. And I thought, well, I'll just do it. I'll be enough early. I can sit in the car and do that really quickly. Canva changed. I couldn't edit my date. It just looked at it all like it was a photograph with nothing to say, to play with. So I started over when I got home this afternoon. But I don't like my technology and programs to change. Hi, Cindy. You might not have heard, but you're getting one of the card kits. Let's see. Anyway, that was not the end of my woes with technology today. I was downtown and I went to park to go to a coffee shop, and you have to pay for parking. And so I tried to log into the app. It wouldn't log me in. And then I thought, well, I'll sign up with Google. It just didn't work. So I gave up and put quarters in the machine. I felt very old school today. Today is not my technology day. But we're hoping it is a crafty day. Here's our card. This is just a really fun fold. I've got a very long strip of ribbon, and I will measure the other one. Well, let's see. How long is it? Well, you know I don't tie bows really well, so there's 13 plus 7, so it's about 20 inches long, which is quite a lot of ribbon, but it ties, it's pretty nice and easy to tie, but this is how it opens. Yay! Isn't that cute? I forgot to cut this particular piece of designer cardstock today because it was all tied up and I didn't want to have to look again and then retie it. I like mine tied on the side. See? Not bad, huh? I've got it twisted, but you can just pretend it's not. Let's pretend for right now. There it is, and we've got the low profile sparkle dots, which come in the Secret C. It's either Mossy Meadow or Old Olive. To me, they're kind of interchangeable, but it's very sparkly. I don't know, can we see the sparkle? We cannot really see the sparkle, a little bit. And then the Darling Duckling. Also today, I am using this smaller one from the Textured Notes dies. On this, I used the large one, and then I just, kind of adjusted it. But then I thought, well, wouldn't it just be smarter to use this one? And the answer to that was yes. So today, and in your kits, is the smaller one. I'm a little slow. And Perfectly Pears, I am using the dies, not the stamps. I use this die. And I use this die and this one to cut out the pear. I love it when DSP cuts out, has dies to cut it out. Then the sentiment is from one of our new sets, Friendly Foliage. And I thought today we'd do Get Well Soon. This is really kind of a cool stamp set. And dies. I love the ones that are open, that don't have stamps that go with them, just for accents. And so we're using gold for accents. I think that wasn't in the description because it was an addition last night and I forgot to write it down anywhere. So there's gold foil. I am going to use Old Olive ink. Although I could have used Mossy Meadow. I'm not sure why I chose Old Olive, but I did. And here we are. Here's our 20-inch piece of ribbon. Yep, maybe just a hair under 20 inches, but it's close. So we've got our dots, which I will take out and have handy. I'm taking these out so I can lose them, because you know how I lose things. So I think we all need to stay hydrated. Oh, Debbie, yes, changing technology. I know. I've always thought I was pretty up on the technology, but this morning it's two apps stumped me this morning. Yeah, don't know what happened. Anyway, I am drinking English breakfast tea this afternoon, and I'm going to put it over on my heater. But every time I totally confuse you, we did this on my team meeting last Sunday. Every time I confuse, we did mystery stamping, so it was more confusing. But every time I confused somebody, we took a drink to stay hydrated. We had lots of water and tea and coffee drinking going on. So if I confuse you, type drink in the comments, and I'll share it so that whoever's on the other platform, because we're on Facebook and YouTube at the same time, I will say time for a drink, and we can all hydrate, including me. The other time to hydrate is when I lose something on my desk, my craft area, because that happens fairly often. Okay, I've got all my bits and pieces here. There's the leaves from my pear. Here's my pear. My sentiment. And I'm going to tell you that one of the reasons I like photopolymer stamps so much is because I can line things up. We've got two little leaves, and then almost all of our paper. In my directions, I told you, or strongly suggested, that your card, this piece that we're going to cut, be landscape. And there's a reason for that. So that when it's put together, am I missing a piece? This is the 3/4 inch piece. Then there was a piece. All right, let me look at my directions. 1 3/4 inches. That should be this one. I have two that are 1 3/4 because I'm using the back side of one of them. So I think, does this one go here? Does this one go here? Anyway, the idea was that you have kind of a pattern that carries through. Let's see if I can figure it out. I have 1 3/4, then I have a 2 1/4. I thought I did a good job of cutting this last night, but I may not have. And this one is last. I know that goes there. It looks like this one goes here. I may have to cut us another piece because I think I made a mistake. And then we have the little piece that is just a little bit off. Maybe because it's upside down? Because it was upside down. So we're going to put these three on the card. This one is saved for the end of it. So I have now confused you, so I want you to go ahead and take a drink. Let's hydrate. I confused myself. Oh, no, I didn't see that. Are you okay now, Cindy? May I say that technology is not my friend, so I'm not surprised that it's acting up. Here's our envelope. I found I had some very vanilla envelopes stuffed away. So everyone's getting the very vanilla envelope with the piece of DSP in the kit. This piece is Secret C, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's 1/4 of a sheet of paper. This is what we did on my mystery stamping Sunday night. Then I have a piece of DSP that coordinates. I'm calling this DSP C because that made sense to me. And it's going to go right on here, and we can adhere that immediately. I know, isn't it a shame to cover up this gorgeous pattern? That is one of my very favorite pieces of DSP. Because you can just cut a piece by 4 by 5 1/4, put it on the front of your card, and you've got a card front. Just decorate it a little bit. You could put a mat under it if you wanted to. Oh, I'm glad, Cindy, that it's working right now. We've got this done. We're going to set it aside. Then we have a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I scored it at 1 inch, 3 inches, 5 1/2 inches, and 8 inches. And because I know this is going flat on the card, that's where I started my accordion fold. And you just want to be sure to give it a good burnish. Here we go. And if you fold it the other way, just turn it upside down because it looks basically the same on each side. It's just how do you want it to pull out? I'm pulling mine to the left. If you prefer to pull your card accordion pieces to the right, just turn it upside down. It all will work. Oh, hi, Heidi. Yes, I said take a drink because I confused myself with the DSP. Should have cut it on camera, and then I would have been okay. And we're just going to put these pieces on. We will take and put this one right here, and we will do it in the appropriate direction. Let me grab my silicone mat. These are great to have if you don't have one because nothing sticks to it. Oh, no. We're going to do the back side of it. Oh, now my finger is sticky. There. I was at a friend's house about a year or two ago, and she was saying that she had just scrubbed her floor because all the people who came to her workshop tended to take that little bit of glue that's on the end of the glue bottle and they drop it on the floor. And so she had a floor full of glue spots. And I thought, oh, well, that's a good thing to remember, to remind people to always put those little bit of dabs of glue, to put them in the garbage. This one goes here. This one fits here. We are good. Now, this does not have a great deal of room to write on. It does have some, though. But if you wanted to write a novel, or you had a lot to say because you haven't written for a long time, you could always put a piece of neutral cardstock on the back so you've got a lot more room to write on. For me, this has enough room. We will just get this on. And see, I love the way when you do something like this, you can see that the pattern carries over. There's some continuity to it. This one is going to go on this end, and that's what our little 1/2 inch piece is for. We'll decorate it up and we'll put it on. I think this, I was watching, let's see, the West Coast Stamper, and I don't know her name. I was watching her, I just came across and saw a reel, and I thought, whoa, I like that card. That would be a fun one to make and a fun one to give. It is a little bit thicker, but not bad at all. Okay. I am missing a piece of paper because I forgot to cut it last night. So here are my very vanilla scraps. Looks like that's 4 inches, doesn't it? Yay. I'm just going to reach over here and cut this at 2 1/4 inches. And I will make sure there's one of these in yours packet too. I feel a little silly about forgetting that. This we're going to stamp on. Oh, what did I put in here? I didn't get out a second stamp. How about, since it's a Get Well card with that cute font, let's do Here For You Always. And I'll pull that out. See how well that just pulls out? And I can see where it belongs. I'll use it, and when I put it back, I'll put it back on this one. Then I'll fold it up. Oh, well, in all other times, it's been on this side. So I could just take it off. But since I wanted to show you that, it of course wasn't. Let's take, if this were long and thin, I would take my silicone mat, I'd put it face down, and I would just let it rest for a moment because it needs to go back into its... Yes, you're right, her first name is Kate, but she said she saw it on Simply Simple Stamping with Connie Stewart, which I thought was kind of fun. And we're going to use other stamps. I forgot I used the flower. Let's pull it out of the pear set. Here's the flower, and here are the little stamens, or I think they are. Back in a minute, I've got to get Petal Pink and Secret C. Let's see. Secret C and Petal Pink. My goodness, I thought I was so ready and organized and ready to go. So let's open up Petal Pink. I love Secret C. It is my new favorite neutral color. I suppose it would be good if I put these stamps on blocks. If you have blocks that are about the same size as the stamp, it's so much better. Now, what I have found is that I am better if I stamp the dark color first. So let's open up Secret C. And stamp in the 2 corners. And it's okay if this, I'm okay with the fact that the flowers might go off the edge. Matter of fact, I almost hope they do. When I'm using this stamp, I look for the partial flower to the side as being the lower left. And then I just try and line these up. Under these lights, the petal pink looks almost orangey. Let's see. There we are. Or not. Let's see how well this will work. I think that'll do it. I hope it'll do it. It did it. They're just a little chubbier than the others. Fluffy, not chubby, right? Fluffy. I'll turn it this way and stamp my sentiment. And I was going to use Old Olive, that's why I brought it out. But since I have Secret C right here, and it is my favorite, let's use it. I don't think I've used this stamp before, so make sure it's cleaned off and stamping well. And then I'm putting it kind of in the middle. There we are. While we're at it, I'm just going to put these back in on the black cardstock because I'll wash them later. Let's go ahead and do our sentiment. We'll do all the stamping at once. So what's everybody been up to? What are your plans for the weekend? Anything special? I know Gladys has her sister visiting. Petal pink goes with a lot. I will say that it's not my go-to pink. Get well soon. There we go. And now we'll close that up. We all know I have trouble with blue, but it seems that Secret C behaves itself and I don't always wear it, which is good. Now, we can put this one on. And I like my light neutral cardstock. I like to put it on with Seal Plus or Seal. Because maybe I'm a little heavy-handed on the glue. I don't know, but to me it seems to show through. So there we are. Look how quick that was to put together this piece. And then I need one of these, probably this one, as the underneath. I will say that Petal Pink really goes well with this cardstock. All the colors in it, in the DSP. Look at that. Now we come to attaching it to our card base. We're going to put it right here and we're going to glue it down. But before that, we're going to take our piece of ribbon. I did not lose the ribbon. Oh, you've got, oh, cold and windy. Oh my goodness. That's just not good. And I wanted the pretty gold to go across the top. So I'm just going to kind of even it up here. And I'm going to put some tear and tape. Just a piece down, kind of in the middle. It's going to be covered up and glued down, so if it's not straight, it's no big deal. My goodness. I've got stuff all over already. You would have been so proud of me. It would look so clean and nice before I came in and started messing with things. In other words, I cleaned up before I went to bed last night. And then I'm just going to take this and put it down so it will stay put and I don't have to worry about it. Just going to double check that my ends are close to even, and they are. You can always cut this off a little bit if you need to. I think I like doing closures like this because it's easy and it's just more controlled, I guess. I like controlled. I like controlled chaos. Here we are. And probably go up just a tiny bit more. Come on, squinch up. I like it when the DSP has a straight pattern. It's easier for me to line it up. So here we are. We're on the card. I'm just going to hold it here for a minute. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I'll take something heavy because I want it to set up before I start playing with it. Like in my tape holder, it's nice and heavy, or my phone if it's beside me, just so that I know it's staying down and in place. But I think if we're careful, it'll be okay. And I just decided that I just wanted to build up a little something here. So I have the Pear Suite, the Perfectly Pears, has this little, I don't know, this little element. And I'm going to put it right here. And I think I'm just, because it's going to be covered up, just going to use my Seal Plus and put this down. I want it to hang over there though. Then my pear needs to go together. And the way I do that, again, thank you so much, Stampin' Up, for making dies to cut out some of the DSP. And put a little glue dot there. Get my fingernail out of it. And put it on. So there's my pear with the leaves. And then I've got these two cute little bits and pieces. And last night I put them on with glue dots. Oh, let me actually just put another glue dot on the pear. I stuffed them in as a last minute addition because I didn't think about it until last night. So there's one. And then we'll put a glue dot towards the bottom. Maybe on the opposite corner. Here it is. You could probably see it. I don't know why I couldn't see it at first. Just put it like this. Then, before I put it on, let's wink of still of the pear. Because we just want it to sparkle. And I'm not covering the whole thing. I'm covering most of it, but not the whole thing. So there's our element. And as much as I would like to put this on dimensionals, I'm not going to, because there is a lot of dimension to the card already. So I am just going to take a bit of liquid glue and put it here, because that's looked to me like where it should be. And I'm just going to turn it over and make sure there's no glue showing. If you wanted to, you could glue this down so it doesn't pop up. But I'm going to use it for my opening. Now this, I don't believe, is a card that will stand up well. It might get well soon. It's just going to go kind of here in the middle. And it can only go on the pear, so I'm just going to go like this. because I don't want to impede the opening at all. And I might kind of try to center that. And then see if I can get this one tied. The other one tied. Here's a hint. Here's a little tip. If you take your tweezers, and I've got they're the reverse tweezers that come in the Embossing Elements kit, and hold it, then you can kind of adjust, because I want these to turn just a little bit. Well, this one's going to turn a lot, because I want the gold on the little ears, on the both sides. And this one I'm going to turn back, because I need this one. It's going to be the green, the sparkly green, not the sparkly gold. It's going to wrap around. And then when it comes through, it's going to be the gold when it comes through. I know some people are just so good at getting that little loop through. I am not. So sometimes I'll just grab a pokey tool, the pokey end of my Take Your Pick tool, and pull that through as a loop. So I've got, and this loop is going to be bigger, and I'm just a little bit off, so I think I will trim. Whoa, see, I've only hit it once, the light. Trim that one off just a little bit. Pull it tight, and our card is almost finished. Let's see, we need some dots. Put my end on here so I don't hurt myself. You do not need to see me bleeding. Oh, Debbie, you put friendly foliage in your card? Yeah, I like the friendly foliage. It was not the first one I put in my cart, but it was in my second pre-order, because I forgot a couple things I needed. I think the yellow will blend in too much. There is a touch of Secret C around, so maybe Secret C is the better choice. I'm going to put one down here, and then I'm going to grab a couple smaller ones, and I put them up here. You can still see it. And there's our card for today. What do you think? Oh, Heidi, you've cold and windy tomorrow. I got out my raincoats this week. I have two of them. One fits a little looser than the other, but they both fit technically. I can button them up and I am fine. But I wanted to wear the one that was looser. And I did. And someone came up to me and told me, Nancy, your buttons are going to fall off. And so we wrapped the string around. I tell you, I need to be taken care of. Obviously. Oh, thank you, Cindy. It just captured me when I first saw it. I just thought, oh, I want to make that. So here we are. Simple envelope trick. Fold your flap backwards, and that gives you a nice stop here when you put your Designer Series paper on. And I like to use my Seal Plus. For years, I have used the multi-purpose glue. And while I liked it and it did a great job, it was also somewhat messier than I felt I needed. So I decided to give it a try with the Seal Plus. And let's see, I have just glued in a nice long white hair. There, I think I got it out. This is 5 13/16 by 2 3/4 inches. A strange measurement, but it seems to fit quite well on the card. I get it aligned, and then I just fold the envelope back over it so I can rub it in. And then it's time to trim, but not with my ribbon scissors. And I do it a little extra big because I like to put it on the front too. And with this, I could have really used either side. There we go. Oh, sometimes the nails don't want to pick things up. Let's see. There we go. And I do the same with this one. There it is. Since I make a little mess sometimes with the glue. And then I try to bring some up on the point. I do put the non-machinable stamps on them because I really don't want them to go through the machines. I'd rather pay a little bit more for these when I've decorated the envelope. This one is a little big. So I'll just trim off that little sliver. And I did cut the envelope a little bit. I think it's going to be okay. I might put a little piece of tape there just to make sure it's okay. There, all fixed. So there's our envelope, a pretty envelope, and a pretty card. I hope you liked that one. So I have a question for you. What would you think of doing a fairly easy but fun mystery stamping next week? I have a project for my workshop Monday night that has turned out much cuter than I thought it would, and it's useful and it's a little bit different. So tell me what you think while I take a drink of something. The fold is fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, Hillary thinks that a mystery stamping next week sounds fun. Good. Because I would love to do a mystery stamping. And Cindy, excellent. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's really easy. But I think I like it. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the mystery stamping with my fun little project. And then you'll have something to use next year. That was a hint. I don't have any Happy Mail to show you today. I do want to remind you that the pre-order starts on the 18th for the next catalog. Have you looked at the digital? There are some pretty things in there. Okay, it's a go for it. Mystery stamping next week on Friday. Yay! And I will post both on Facebook. I'll do a Facebook post and I'll do a YouTube post with what you need to cut. Because there is a little cutting involved. And I think that's it. If you were thinking about doing a kit class and you want a little information, send me a message. We'll get together. I really enjoyed my kit class Wednesday night. I had 6 people and we all chose a different kit. And we just sat and visited and laughed and had fun. I also made brownies that they ate. I was very good and did not eat brownies. Yeah, it would have been nice, but I'm trying to behave myself. Anyway, I think that is it for today. And I will see you next week for our mystery stamping. And have a wonderful rest of the weekend. Enjoy company and friends or just quiet, easy time. Anyway, until next week, happy crafting.